Hello everyone and a happy Friday to you. As usual, I am Bachikolio on Bachikolio Streams, and today this will be the first iteration of my playthrough of the Surge. Now this is a game that I have enjoyed greatly and I have beaten before, and I would like to do so again for all of you guys. Especially considering that in September the sequel will be coming out, so this is in a way my way of creating a bit of hype for the second game. At any rate, it is Friday. I'm feeling fresher than usual, more awake, and I am up for some hack and slashy action RPG fun. So let's just give a few moments to get around, and then we will be jumping right into the game. I will be trying out some more games in the future. I just wanted to have a bit more diversity, not limiting myself to my Blood Bowl games and streaming, painting, and building of miniatures. So I would just want to share with you some of my other passions in the video games world. And I think that the Surge is significantly thematic. We will see. I am probably not going to go through the DLCs, at least not the arena ones, as they are a bit too grindy, but if I make good progress through the main campaign, I might just go through them as well. We'll just see how it goes. I will be playing the game on the Xbox controller just because I have grown more accustomed to it for this particular game. And it allows me to be in a bit of a more comfortable position on this chair, so I can handle a bit more streaming without experiencing any back pains. Oh, so as I go through the game, I will have some comments in regards to the reviews that have been made for it, as I am in a bit of a disagreement with some of the points that were raised, and also in the general level of reviews all over the internet from the position of a consumer more than a reviewer, since I am far from one. Also, since it is now the off season between the Rebel season 12, 11 and 12. I will have some additional free time, and the admins of Rebel have not yet disclosed how they will fill out the gap, the off-season period. Again, as I always mention, I would love to see them bring back the Cripple Ladder. If they do so, I will have some streams of spinning for some Cripple Ladder matches. If not, if I feel lazy, I can just keep playing this as the video game stream for the week. Just take a quick look, see if anyone has actually acknowledged my nope, it does not appear to be the case. Well, let's just give it a few more minutes. If no one else shows, then I will just be starting along. Viewers may miss intro, but while useful, it is by far not absolutely mandatory for feeling the main experience of the game. Additionally, if anyone is online, please let me know how the audio levels are. I have not made initial recording before launching the stream, so I haven't played around calibrating the audio. So if the game is too loud, please let me know. Please. I will not go into any particular details on the game itself yet, as I intend to go through them while playing. It is also going to be a bit of a personal challenge for me, since this will be the first real-time game that I'm streaming. It will be interesting to see if I can keep my brain from melting down while multitasking. So if anyone is looking for a professional display of this game, they will unfortunately probably not find it here. But if you're here for a laugh and seeing someone sweat out from being murdered over and over while trying to keep up with chat and rambling on while killing some cyber zombies, well, this is the place for you. Right then, well, I believe that we might as well just oh, what the hell, let's just give it a bit more time. it's a Friday stream, so I can go for a bit longer. I won't have to go to work in the morning, so we can just have a bit of a downtime, wait for someone to show up. And then we can share the whole experience going through it. Since, well, not a masterpiece, this is definitely a fun game. The number of games overall that I have started to play and actually finished is really not that high, so taking this for what it is, I think that for me, personally, pretty fun piece of software. I have also made some additional tweaks to the chat box. So again, if anyone joins and types in something and thinks that the chat box appears too small or in not an easy place to be, please let me know. I will take notes and fix it for future streams. Also, I am looking for a nice, clean layout for the streams. The simpler, the better. I don't really want to flood the stream with additional windows or anything like that. Just a bit of an overlay to make things look shinier without taking too much of the actual screen space. For some reason. Under one. There we go. In addition, my mic is a bit further away from me than usual, so if my voice coming off quieter or gets distorted, let me know and I will bring it forward. I just try and keep the thing out of frame as much as possible, since the mic and cam are attached to my lamp or when I am painting and building models, and the lamp itself is not the most appealing item on my desk. But I will bring it in case you are unable to hear me. I have been running into some slight performance issues before, so it is possible that running the streaming software may further impact performance, in which case I will need to do the necessary tweaks. Well, alright. Hey, hey. Hey, Pig in Space. Happy Friday to you and welcome to the stream. As you can see, I have implemented your suggestion for the chat box on screen. So let me know if it's too bothersome. The messages should disappear in a minute or so, so they won't stick around forever on the screen. At any rate, how are you doing in this fine Friday evening? As I recall, your last exam should have passed. I hope it went well. Hey Rororimbo, welcome and a happy Friday to you too. How are you all doing today? Or tonight, rather. Oh, that's good to hear. Oh yeah, the tourney is getting closer by the minute. Do you have any news on the Skaven team? If it will be in your possession? Wonderful, so I will take it that everything is going according to plan then. Awesome, great. So we will get to see some Skaven. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Right then, well, let's not postpone anymore this thing. I will be starting off a new slot. There will be a bit of a cutscene here, so I will keep relatively quiet if you are interested in the world setting.
We tend to forget about this, tend to be careless. But we have to rise to the task together. It's up to all of us to sow those seeds, and it's up to us to nurture them towards growth. Creo is not just another company. With Project Resolve, we are building the path to the future. Follow us into a new era, a utopia for all mankind. With every launch, we're healing our planet, restoring its natural shield. A return to the green world we remember, where our children can once more play in the sun. Resolve is not only revitalizing the Earth, but its people too. We've all dreamed of it, and now Creo is making it a reality. Together, we're strong. Together, we can make a change. Unleash your potential with us.
So this is in fact our main character joining this company in question.
Welcome. I know you're glad to be here. I am, and I'm glad to see ya. Creo, you know who we are, or at least you think you do. Everywhere you turn, we're there, whether you see us or not. Maybe it's time to take a closer look. Creo is one of the world's largest manufacturers of consumer and industrial products, but we're so much more. And that's why you're here. At Creo, we're always reaching for the stars. See, We've always had our eyes on the big picture. From work in the third world, valuable minds in their city education initiative, and of course, programs like Project Resolve that benefit us all. Creo not only wants to change the world,
I
Project
will not
Resolve,
be
we aim
inverting
to
my
save
look.
it. There's no divide here. At Creo, we're all in this together. So welcome to your new life as part of the Creo family.
Final stop. Russo Station. Exit to the right.
Okay, and this will be the big reveal for the tutorial. We are, in fact, a person who is wheelchair bound.
Welcome to Creo. We're happy to welcome you as part of our
And
ever-expanding
yes, as
family.
expected,
Please proceed directly to
there are
registration.
some significant frame rate drops. That's alright, I will have them fixed
All passengers, please proceed to job
next
registration immediately.
stream.
This station will be shut down shortly.
Welcome to registration. Creo believes in the right tool for the right job and the right person to wield it.
So essentially the idea is that our protagonist joins this company because they will give him an exoskeleton that will allow him to regain the ability to walk.
You will receive your personal work gear
And
voucher
as we are
after
starting the
registration.
game, we get the chance to choose between two of the beginning exoskeleton rigs. So that's of equipment that we can use. One being the Rhino, which is the heavy, impactful, heavy labor type set, and the Lynx, which is the faster one. And in this case, I will be using a bit of my knowledge from already having played through the game, and I will just go for the Lynx because we will find parts for it
If
easier.
you like living life in the fast lane, Creo provides you with the highway to success as a field technician. Light, versatile, state-of-the-art. Gear up and save tomorrow today.
So this is how the Lynx rig looks, and this is how its headpiece works, and this is a piece of equipment that you can use as a weapon further down the line. Let's just take a quick look at the Rhino as well to bring you up to speed.
If you believe you can move mountains, Creo has the
This
job for
is
you.
how the
Because
Rhino
as a
looks,
heavy operator, you can literally do that.
with its
Pure power,
headpiece
relentless
and
performance.
suggested
Nothing
weapon
can hold you
loadout.
back. Are you ready? Then join us as a heavy operator and save tomorrow today.
But I will just start off
It's not
with
all
the
rocket
Lynx.
science here. We need workers that are grounded. Can you see us?
Rig installation program running. Program complete. Patient sedated. Initiating surgery.
And this is where the problems begin. As sedation has in fact not taken place.
Implanting
So after an indeterminate amount of time, we are to wake up with a defective core power system being prepared for dismantling. Yes, well, there are a few possible explanations for this the longer into the game. None of them have been officially confirmed, so they are left widely within speculation. But I will touch on that more as we get deeper into the story. Okay.
You have been designated for disassembly.
These are just some DLC thingamajigs. And we are getting some nifty little tutorial tips.
Critical error is evident.
So these just happen to be some drones. Here is the tutorial that will stay for us to always take a look. So we have standard target locking, we have horizontal attacks, and we have vertical attacks. You can chain them together for combos. You can so the standard ones that have been the best in my experience are either one or one horizontal follow. Well, they are just building the suspense, I suppose. Yeah, so the game uses stamina, which is, if you take a look at the upper left-hand corner of the screen, the green bar. So as I attack, you will notice that it goes down. Once it goes completely down, I will be unable to perform any attacks or dashes until it replenishes, and of course the top bar being the indicative. Okay, I did not bother to dodge this one. As you can see, the mechanical similarities to some other games are fairly apparent. However, there is more to it than that. Oops. We also have some blocking. It would take me a little while to get my bearings. Remember how to. There are many setting building, world building graffiti along the way. Earth doesn't need Resolve, Resolve being the big project of the Creo company that we are working for. And why that is, we will learn as the game progresses. We have a block. We have stuff to collect. I won't go too grindy along the way. I'll just focus on getting through the game. These crates are usually breakable, so we can through them, and this happens to be our equipment menu. So we have weapons to go around, some statistics that go along with it. Impact, meaning that every weapon has the chance to stagger an enemy and interrupt their attacks. Attack speed is self-explanatory, how quickly the swing of the weapon works. Proficiency scaling, there is sort of a weapon progression system in which the more you use a weapon, the better you get with it. There are a total of 5 weapon types, as you can see on the right. So you have the one-handed, the staff, the heavy duty, the single-rigged, and the twin-rigged weapons. So the more you use each type of weapon, you gain levels in that weapon proficiency, and different weapons benefit differently from the levels that you gain. In this case, that is a very low. And energy gain is another statistic that is not yet into play, since this is more of a tutorial type place. Implants. Implants are what substitute the standard character building aspect of the game. So instead of gaining levels the usual way and getting stat ups, you collect implants that you put in yourself that give you separate bonuses. Some of these are marked as hot swap, which means that you can swap them at any time in the game world, and some of them are hardwired, which means that you can only change them in special locations. In this case, I have 4 slots for implants, and I'm going to place the medical audit, which will give me vision to enemy health gauges. And since it is a hot swap item, I can greatly apply it. This thing, the proximity sensor, is an extremely annoying item. As you can see in its description, it triggers a sound when we are near items or secrets. The sound, however, is extremely annoying, and I will not put you through this experience. And we have the vital injection and the mechanized counterweight, which I currently cannot equip because it is a hardwired type implant. So it says injectables, but injectables are essentially hardwired. What is limiting the particular implants is our core power, which you can see on the lower part of this the screen. It currently says that we have a total of 10 core power, and we are using 3 of it, and we can check. So the medical audit uses 0 core power, but the injectable uses 3. Currently in our gear we don't have anything, so there is nothing that uses additional core power, but this is how it will work in addition. Here we collect broken parts which we will recycle into scrap, which is the currency of the game. It is used to buy upgrades, create craft materials, craft gear, and so on and so forth. Schematics is what we collect in order to build the gear that we want to equip. And components is something that we collect along the way, and these are also used as components for crafting. And the organizer is just a nifty thing that collects all of the errata and the trivia that we see along our quest. And in this case, it gives us a few DLC items. such as the general company update that welcomes us as an employee before having us through this horrible procedure. We have some quest items to look for, which are essentially weapons. Creo World ticket. So Creo World is one of the DLCs. It is pretty decent. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna go into it in this playthrough, but it's there. The gear voucher will give us the schematics for a few items of gear we can craft, and since I picked the Lynx gear, those items will be from Lynx. And the reboot voucher is for another one of the DLCs. It is a series of arenas. I might show them to you, but I won't delve too deep in them. And the security memo also notifies us of the existence of some DLC weapons scattered along the way. Nothing particular. Here we have the overall statistics screen, considering our rig, total number of implant slots that we can use for implants, the number of implants we have equipped, the gear set. So equipping all items of a gear will give us a set bonus, just like in the good old Diablo 2, and the currently equipped weapon, which happens to be a reclaimed piston. We have information about how much scrap we need to invest in order to gain the next level of core power. In this case, we are currently at 105 scrap out of 395 required for the next level. We have our health gauge, our stamina gauge, the percentage of consumption, so each action takes the normal amount of stamina as per description. With different implants we can reduce this. Also the gear bonuses. Quite right, yep. Simply put, hitting them faster and harder with more energy. There was this advertisement for coffee. Do stupid things faster with more energy. This is pretty much the case here as well. Right then, so next thing we will see here is in fact the first small hub, or the location that we can use for upgrades. No, not exactly. It's mostly, I would say 99% melee oriented. Later down the line you get things called drone modules. So there is a little drone assistant that you have, and one of the modules has a little laser, but it is mostly worthless and just used to draw enemies to you. So, and it is more like a special ability. So you can consider this a melee game through and through. So let's go into the medical, to the Spec Ops, whatever it was called, the med bay. Going into the med bay, we are going to be warned that there is a major malfunction in our gear, in our rig, so to speak. So the exo rig is the exoskeleton to which we are going to place gear items. So yeah, core power defective, yada yada. However, this does turn on most of the systems. Here is where we will be able to do some things later on, and this will be our first encounter with the closest thing to an NPC that we will be seeing for a long time. So I will shut up and let you see the dialogue.
Are you still there? Your rig has been damaged. Its distress beacon has been triggered. You need to get back into the factory.
Well, okay. I'll just stroll right on over to the factory then.
I certainly don't recommend walking, but there should be a maglev station nearby. They're never far from ops.
The rig seems to work for me. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. I mean, I can walk. Huh. Never thought I'd be able to say that again.
Well, that's good to hear, but the power core is damaged. You'll have to find a new one to make your rig fully functional.
I don't know you. I'm surrounded by dead people here. Maybe someone would like to explain what's going on.
I'm sorry, I don't know. You need to get inside. Maybe you can make something to protect yourself. Operations always has a gear assembly.
On my way.
Be careful. And don't forget to replace the power core of your rig or you're not going to get very far.
Right then. So I am going to spoil a bit of the plot, and I'm just going to mention that this NPC has a very Dead Space twist. So anyone who has played Dead Space through will may get the hint. I'm not going to say anything more on that topic. So for now there's nothing that we can do, so we just don't. You can see that big flying thing in the air. Again, this happens to be a premonition for the future. I think it won't be too much of a spoiler to say that this is the second boss of the game. So as you may notice, we currently have absolutely no idea what's going on. We are in a part of the complex which is more or less abandoned and ruined. We've seen some drones and holographic image of someone who has offered to help us and in return is seeking help back. Our character's name is Warren. I don't think if this was mentioned at any point yet, but since I'm probably going to refer to him by name. They are attacking us since after the installation of the rig, they considered the defective core of the rig to be sufficient justification for our utter dismantlement. Essentially, they are trying to recycle me. Okay, and let's carry on then. And this is the first actual instance of an enemy that we have. So as you notice, he has a rig similar to ours. However, he is but a lifeless zombie. And this is the meat of the game itself. Now, whenever I am targeting an enemy, I can choose to attack any of its parts. So his hands, his left or right arm, left or right leg, and body and head. In this case, the tutorial is telling us that we should go for the head, so might as well follow that through. And we got a new implant. I'll just look around for some things to collect. The frame rate is getting pretty abysmal. I am sorry about this. We'll try and... Also, a neat little thing is that when we are in the dark, we can turn on some lights. But we don't have a body currently equipped, so I can't show you that. Just... Is the game stuttering too much on the screen for you guys? If it is, I will make the modifications right now. Okay. Meanwhile, here is another tutorial tip. So, attacking unarmored parts of the bodies, which are highlighted in blue, means that we will be causing more damage. Okay, if it's fine, I will keep it on as it is. But I have a frame rate counter on the screen for my part, and it is really bad. Okay, so let's just do a quick here. Back, because we are out of energy and we don't want to be out of energy. We have sufficient power of the weapon to stagger these enemies, so they are in no way challenging, at least for the moment.
Damn it, why don't you listen? You need to upgrade your power core or replace it, otherwise you ain't getting through that door. If you keep trying to overload it without the proper power capacity, security is gonna end up all over your ass. We've come too far to get caught now. Those implants are worth thousands. This is our golden ticket out of here, man. Don't screw it up.
Yeah, so the death and rebirth of the enemies, since they do respawn once I go to the ops center to restore my consumables, this is not something that has been properly addressed in the game. As in, there is no in-world proper explanation unless you go very, very meta. Jump back, wait for the energy, for the stamina to gain, and keep smacking them around. Okay, so far so good. Remember if there was anything else collectible here. There should be a few collectible items. Really seeing them. Here is the dude currently banging his head. And wouldn't you know it, he left us a power core. Collecting a bit more scrap. And let's go restore our functionality to the fullest.
Welcome, Warren.
Okie dokie, everything is fine. And now we can upgrade our core, we can switch around implants, and we can customize our rig. Which I don't think I would do for the time being, it's simply cosmetic. So for the implants, something interesting that we can put in. A health upgrade. Nice. So yeah, that's a plus 10 to our health. No reason not to equip it. And we have one more slot. I can put in the mechanized counterweight. Sure, why not? It applies physical damage boost to weapons. Oh, why not? It is in fact injectable.
Checking database. Gear voucher detected.
Yeah, and this is where we will be crafting our items.
Gear voucher redeemed.
Receiving some schematics for gear. And this is the gear assembly. This is where we can build items, and this is where we can upgrade items. So I believe that we had some additional consumables. Oh, we actually have one arm piece and one leg piece. And as you can see, we are already at 9 out of 10 for our core power. How many consumables do we have? 3. So can we build ourselves another arm? We cannot, because we don't have sufficient force regulators Mark 1, but we can build another leg. Why can we not? Oh, we don't have the scrap. Alrighty. So let's just eat up some consumables. And we might as well try to equip it. Will we be able to do so? Nope, because it has a core power consumption of 2 and we merely have 9 out of 10. So, let's upgrade our core by 1. There we go. I will also use the opportunity to bank all of the tech scrap that we have currently collected. And now I can just equip the leg. As you can see, the pieces of gear modify our overall stamina consumption in this case, because I am using a light class rig. So we have stamina consumption for run and dodge, respectively -20 and -10%. And what our arm rig does is give us a 3% increase in our attack speed. And it also gives us a bit of defense. Now that we have that done, as you can see, the enemies do respawn every time that we go through. Okay. And there is also such a thing as a multiplier on the scrap that we collect. So the more time we spend not going back to the med bay, the bigger our multiplier is. These are... These little bursts of energy do not cause as much damage as they drain my stamina and energy. Okay, so why did we do this whole thing? It is so we could get this little bunch of materials. We can go back to the map. And yeah, I have already crushed those. Right. So now if I go to the med bay, my scrap counter will reset, but if I go to the gear assembly, the enemies will respawn. I will not replenish my injectables, but my tech scrap multiplier will remain. So in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the gear assembly, the bank, whatever scrap I have. Now we have a requirement to get force regulators Mark 1. Now these things... Hello there, Rogue Raider. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you tag along. Yeah, unfortunately this is an integral part of the game. Grinding, if you don't like it, this game would not be for you. However, in this playthrough I will try and grind as little as possible. So where do we have force regulators? Well, in the arms of our enemies. We need to find an armored piece, in this case that will be the arm. Cause enough damage to that piece. And once we get the prompt, we can just disarm our adversary. It will give us a weapon. Since I cut off the right hand, I also get the weapon, and I also get his force regulators. Now, this is a much better weapon, so I'll just go ahead and equip it. So yeah, regarding the grind, it is just that kind of game. Again, using mechanics from the Souls games in that way. So I will be wanting to build a body at some point, so I will just aim for the body. take his body apart, which will give me the schematics and some very needed resources. So essentially the grind is also for such material scavenging, but the good thing is that you can aim at what you need. So you need arm pieces, you chop off arms, you need leg pieces, you chop off legs, so on and so forth. And we get these nice little visceral animations. And this is essentially a gatekeeping of sorts for the game. So if I have a core level of less than 10, I would not be able to go to activate this door. That being said, throughout the game, these gatekeeps are pretty flimsy. I mean, it's fairly easy to go through them. Even without much grinding, you're usually in the clear. So the only thing that we will need a schematic for to complete the set is in fact the head. So we are looking for a dude with an armored head. How about you? Do you have armor on your head, dude? Good. Yes, you do. Lovely. I will have your noggin, please. Thank you very much. I seem to recall there were some more aggressive dudes here. There it is. But if we are... Oh, I was not able to gain... no, this is why I chose the links. The Rhino gear appears at the end of this stage. Yeah, for the majority of the level there will only be Link's armor. And... oh. So the reason I cut off his arm here is so I can collect some materials to upgrade my weapon. Wouldn't you know it? The crates. So yeah, this is why I took the links. Also, it is much easier to play with a Link's gear than it is with the Rhino. Because the Lynx is much less stamina intensive, so I don't need to do as much stamina management as I would if I were using the Lynx, if I were using the Rhino. Okay, and we have increased our weapon proficiency in the single rigged. Now the weapon proficiency is displayed on the lower left where my face cam is, so you wouldn't be able to see the exact numbers, but I think that this is not a very important piece of information. going to overcharge this, which will open another door. And we can do little jumps here and there. Don't worry, there are no platforming sections in the game. This is just for such little hidden items. Okay, so this allowed us to open this door. What is there here? Is there an enemy lurking about? Nope, just some goodies. A sustaining array and an audio log.
We've had issues with Robert Weave again. This time about the exoskeleton program. He's refused to have the implant surgery. We've explained it's hardly invasive, even offered to double his bonus. But no, thinks management will use it to control the workforce. He even brought up his union nonsense again. If he poisons the others, it could put us months behind schedule. It's amazing. He doesn't see it as making his job easier. I recommend termination. Yeah, we've put up with too much of his trash talking.
And here there are further proof that something has gone very, very wrong with this entire thing. Earth doesn't need resolve and a very, very dead employee. Alright, and this will be our first shortcut of the game.
I can't believe they just fired Dr. Chavez. After the years of hard work and dedication she's put into this company. I suppose that's what you get when you stand up for your convictions. The worrying thing is, she's right. I've seen the data. We've got to keep working, now more than ever. Lesser people would give up, but she's not one of them. And if she won't, I won't.
I might as well kill these two bots just for the additional scrap. Now these shortcuts are what effectively mitigates the grind, since I will always need to go back to the central upgrade location that will respawn the enemies. Using these shortcuts I can easily walk around them instead of having to fight them every single time I go back. So using them is more or less essential. I'm going through here because I recall that there was thingamajig. Here it is. Aggression amplifier. This is probably the single most important implant type in the game. This gives you health back after you perform executions on your enemies. Okay. We have some consumables. Gonna use them right away because I will build a lot of stuff and I will upgrade stuff, so I will probably need them anyway. We have schematics for the body and the head, which is nice. And we have some broken parts which we will be able to recycle into crafting materials. And we have a few new implants. Right, so let's go to the med bay. Replenish our stuff. I won't be touching the implants yet. I will go instead into the gear assembly, bank my tech, and try and build the full set. So, head, body, and one more arm. We have a full set that we unfortunately cannot wield before because we don't have enough core power. We are at maximum, we are at 11. Let's see how much we will need in order to equip the whole thing. So one more for the head, 3 for the body, so that's 4. And the arm we will take 2, so a total of 6 levels we need to put in. If we will have enough cash for that, probably not. 1, 2, and that's about it. Well, what can we use for that too? I will actually put in the other arm for the additional 3% attack speed, since the weapon that I'm using, the single rigged weapons, happen to be a bit slower, so giving them more speed will make me significantly more lethal. And just to make sure, on the implants front, I can substitute the mechanized counterweight with... oh, this will need a level. Okay, no, with nothing for now. Oh, biggie. Oh, wait. Dialogue first.
You're still here. I can't do any more for you right now. You need to get back into the factory.
Well, that was short and sweet.
Try to find a maglev station. And be careful.
The next objective is to get into the factory. Now, the factory, however, is a very, how should I say, unclear objective, considering that the whole facility that we are at is a giant sort of a factory. So there is a chemical plant, this itself is a rocket plant, so the idea of factory is kind of unclear. So essentially for now we just push onward and we try and make sense of what is happening in the world. Currently we see the facility that is in disarray, people are dead, writing cryptic messages on the wall. The employees that are not dead are zombified and appear to be puppets that are controlled by what? Exactly our rigs, similar to the ones that we have. So if we want to get into meta storytelling, it is a possibility that the fact that our core was broken meant that we are not being controlled. A controlled drooling zombie as the other employees. However, why that happened and why the core was defective and why we were not sedated for the operation still remains unclear. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to take a bit of time and try to improve the frame rate a little bit. Everything on medium. Did it take effect? Yep. Hey, Tanner. Lovely. Alright. Still on the painting front. This is good to know. We are not too far into the game, probably just about an hour or so. Just going over what it is all about. And struggling with a little bit of a choppy frame rate because the streaming software put just enough drain on my system resource to make the game choppy, which makes my idea to stream the new game as it comes out in September more or less impossible. But oh well. We'll be going along. Well, I can maintain a solid 30 or not so solid. So just to recap, this is our main dude. He is currently being equipped. So I'm going to be scrounging for materials to build head and body gear and get my set bonus. Not much to do here. Yeah, the frame rate is going up and down like crazy. Anywhere between 25 and 55. I guess I'm gonna have to do some additional tweaks through the NVIDIA experience. Customize the game for performance over visuals, unfortunately.
Please remember, safety at work is our highest priority.
I'm just going to quickly go through these guys again. And collect some of their pieces. So we took his body, we will take his arm. Or not, because I stupidly attacked his other arm. But I guess we made enough damage to the piece to allow it to be cut off. Oh, and we got a new weapon. Cool. Forgot about that. Did he leave everything? Nope. I'll go for his leg. This is a high impact weapon, so I am not really too scared of going in guns blazing. Also, as you can see, these attacks are fairly slow. That's great, yeah. Also, to possibly upgrade whatever we get. Let's go for another head. Oops. this is essentially how the grind starts. I'm gonna try and do the absolute minimum amount, but there will still be some needed. So while the mechanics are mostly like in Dark Souls, you can see that combat is a lot faster, a lot more dynamic, and this is what I very much enjoy about it as a whole. Okay, I'm just going to murder outright. And we got a bit of a proficiency increase. And we're going to push a little bit further into the game and possibly unlock the second shortcut. Like your arms, would like to have them, please. So another aspect of this whole thing is that it is not enough to just wail while having the part selected. You also need to consider your directional attacks so that the character actually hits that part. So for instance, if you do a sliding move, sliding attack is less likely to hit the head than it is to hit the leg or the body. And thankfully, you can see the part being attacked. And we can see that we currently have a 1.7 scrap modifier. And we get a plasmic regenerator, which is also a fine implant, but I think I will be skipping straight to the aggression amplifier for what's essentially a life leech. I'm gonna have to do some serious graphical downgrades if I want this game to run smoothly, unfortunately. Ow. I'm getting a bit overzealous. This might cost me a life. Okay, so I will use the opportunity to unlock this shortcut. This there happens to be the shortcut. Open it up. And there will be our two drone friends. while under the influence of a tech scrap modifier, I have the chance to get a refill on my injectables during the game, also to get boosts on stamina and energy. So the game does reward a bit of a more risky playstyle. And just trying to collect. So let's see how we're doing on the broken parts front. So 2 arms, 3 bodies, 3 torso. Okay, so we'll take the next guy's arm off. So we constantly maintain stable supply of resources. Nothing to it. Okay, so I am not gonna be able to reach this because I have to go from there, which will happen in a little while. I think I did murder everything here. Nope, I actually need to go through here. Alright. However, I will go back to the med bay because I am not feeling comfortable going for longer runs without an aggression amplifier. As I stated previously, this is essentially what we will use as a life leech, giving us health without having to be a fixed number injectable. As you can see, I only have 3 injectable slots right now for health. These can be stacked up, but it is still a finite amount. So what we need is 7 levels. So we were up to 2 or 3, so I'm gonna just give him 15. And we unlocked another implant slot. Lovely. And the vibro cutter, which I will skip. Put on the headgear and the body. Nope. Oh, we need one more. Medbay. We need one more level. There we go. Can we have just one more level, please? Yes, we can. So we can actually put in the coveted aggression amplifier. Good. Now, theoretically, with this implant, I can go on indefinitely. However, we can still use some of these. Consumables to boost our overall tech scrap hunt, blanket, and I'll probably just upgrade the weapon. There we go. That's about it. So from here on, essentially just going onward. further upgrades to our weapon proficiency. Using the shortcut. Oh, there was something here. Where was it? This close, did I not? Hello. Well, whatever. Okay, so again, a bit of a tutorial tip. The green stuff burns like hell. And in this case, we are not talking about the GW green stuff, I'm talking about these toxic waste. Oops. Oh, there. Will I be able to make the jump? Yep. This happens to be a staff weapon. Not my favorite, so I'll probably just want to. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you something for now, and that would be this big old machine, which is our first mini boss that we encounter in the game. Should I tackle him right now or wait a bit? I'm not usually protected by... Where are you? There has to be a small drone somewhere. Where's the drone? Odd. Oh, there it is. Okay, so go get him. So the idea is that I just have to keep hitting him in the open space, avoid these attacks, and he goes down like a bitch. Why I needed to do this? Well, firstly, he gives me a decent amount of scrap. Secondly, he gives me a token which I will use, thank you, that I can use for a very special unique armor. And he's also protecting this comic book. Now this enemy right there, the one in the white spacesuit, this is so I can get a set that is a part of the DLC. It is, however, very much a garbage set, and the weapon is not worth it either, although it is a single rigged weapon. He is at the same time very fragile and very aggressive, so I won't bother to kill him 6 times to chop off all of his pieces, so I'm just gonna skip him altogether. Is not as important, so this boss was just to get the additional scrap and to get him out of the way. He does not respawn, unlike I think that there were about 5 of them throughout the game. And as you can see now with executions, I regain my health. above it, which is perfectly enough to make up for any minor damage that I may have incurred throughout the skirmishes. Do I want to even bother with him? Nope. Okay, so this door is what is where the first DLC is at. It will unlock after I have beaten this area, which I won't probably bother to do. These guys will just wake up at the same time. And I'll just murder them for good standings. Okay. Yeah, this is the tutorial stating that the body gear part of the rig has some illumination. As you can see, I can turn it off and on. This is as a whole stupid area. Here I'm just gonna go for hit and return. Nice. Ouch. Overzealous. I'm going to kill him for the extra bit of health. I'm gonna target him in the body and just kill him in an old-fashioned way. Advanced combat. Yeah, that's just to notify me that unless I do enough damage to a body part, I will not be able to sever it with the execution. Now, at the bottom and left of this toxic corridor, there is an advanced version of this weapon. However, I am carrying 4,000 scrap pieces and I am not going to do the suicide run to get it. So what you usually do at this stage of the game is you come back with carrying 0 scrap and you just run to the weapon, pick it up and die, and as you respawn you will have the weapon. But this is a bit of gaming the game and I don't want to do that. There is a worker that wants help. So this is one of the sections of the game where you can say that it is a bit of a horror vibe. Something very reminiscent of Dead Space. You can merely see the lights of the enemies in the darkness. It's pretty atmospheric and pretty nice. There aren't that many sections like that in the game, but it is nice whenever they are there. High-tech scrap for us right there. How are we on par? 1-1-1. Okay. We don't have any legs, so I think this guy will have to give me his. Or not. Whatever. this is just type. What implant did I get? I will be equipping this health implant as soon as possible. Again, legs on the leg. Hitting the leg. Alright. Oh. Oh. The darkness has betrayed me. Luring the enemies and there was a dude here. Where's the dude? Oh, okay. Or I think I'll have your head. Unless I cause too much damage and I'm unable to execute him, but oh well.
We have come into possession of evidence that links Ed Nakana, employee number 776910, to the homicides associated with the individual known as the Liberator. All indications point to the fact that he has deliberately tampered with his neural implant, including disabling its GPS function. Therefore, CreoNet cannot ascertain his whereabouts. While he's at large, he is a serious threat to staff and Creo's image if this were to get out. We need to take care of this, quickly and quietly.
So this mentions essentially a serial killer that is at large in the facility. And interestingly enough, as you progress through the audio logs for this subplot, you find out that he is in fact the person that they catch and interrogate is not in fact the murderer, and that it is again part of the Surge, as in the chips from the cores and the Neuralink network, sci-fi yada yada is actually what is making him kill. On the other hand, the MO of the murders is very reminiscent of what the main character is actually doing throughout the game. So if you were to go meta storytelling, there is something to wonder about. Now this is a security gate. I will not be able to pass through it until I upgrade my exo rig, which will happen very much later in the game. So I'll have to backtrack to this location and lock it. For now, we will just push onward. As we need to restore the energy to this place, power to this place, so we can have some lights on. More enemies. Will I be able to get your legs at this time? Yep. Great. Quick check to see how we are doing on broken parts. 2 legs. So next will be an arm. There is an audio log here for us.
I have to say I'm not comfortable with this. Not comfortable at all. We've had multiple accidents in this sector. We have to shut it down and take it to pieces bit by bit. Now, I know what you're gonna say, but we've been lucky. We've been able to sweep the previous incidents under the rug. We can't keep relying on luck. I know nobody cares about the grunts down here, but God knows they will care if the media gets hold of it. Or worse, the Oversight Committee.
This is a bit of an insight to the whole situation, meaning that the company did not take any action to stop the surge. And here is the first enemy that we encounter who has rhino gear. And he only has... what does he have? I target him here. I think he just has the arms. He does have a pretty cool weapon that I won't be using, but... yeah, he just has the arms. Oh, we might as well. And unfortunately, I couldn't sever any of his pieces. Oh well. The medivoltaic injection is another very cool thing that I will be using. It is an injectable that uses energy to restore health. So using the medivoltaic and the aggression amplifier, I will be able to maintain healing without being locked down by a finite number injectables.
Power system activated. Sector initializing. Sector online. Attention. Security lockdown in effect. Warning. Security systems are now active.
Whatever.
No connection to Creonet
Oh yeah,
at this time.
one thing that we can do now is go and save the employee that was crying for help earlier on the level. There it is.
Help! Let me out!
And wouldn't you know it, it's an enemy. And he is wielding a weapon that is unique for this area. And also rhino gear. And yes, the Endless Titan, the weapon, which is... as you can see, we have essentially gotten one weapon for each type so far. Doubling up is only the single-handed weapon, which is the Reclaimed Piston, which is a useless anyway. So we have the single-rigged, which is the Spectre Bite. We have the Vibro Cutter, which is the single weapon, single arm weapon. We have the Endless Titan, which is the heavy duty, and we have the staff. Now for this playthrough, I will mostly be emphasizing on single rigged weapons with any sort of rig that gives me speed for attack, since this will just be the fastest way to go through the whole thing. I don't want to make it a particularly long and grindy playthrough, if I even remain to play all the way through it. Okie dokie, so we've got this part cleared out. Meaning that I will be collecting all the pieces I can get my hands on, but I will mostly focus on upgrades and class upgrades. So these are operator class rigs, operator class gear that I'm using, the headgear. The Lynx is, as you can see, an operator class. Operator classes are the lightweights, and these are what I will be using. Maybe I would use a medium class for the increased defense, but that will be further down the line. It has some sick bonuses. For health, it does impact stamina, and I don't have enough implant slots to make up for any stamina deficiency. So I will be merely focusing on... Oh, here. For the health. And we get a bit of a tutorial information that these barrels are filled with Dolph. And here there is a bit of a hidden enemy. However, I will just go in and murder it. I know of its location beforehand, since I've been here a lot of times. Right then, we have managed to get somewhere. I will not go through this area yet, because this is where the level boss is. So that scrap of heap right under the red container is actually the boss that will wake up and attack me. I actually don't want him to do that to me yet. Probably go around, complete the circuit, get the collectibles, then I will murder this person. Broken parts, 3 arms, 2... Okay, heads. We need heads. And here comes the enemy that is usually used to farm the rhino gear. However, first... Oh no. That failed miserably. I'm actually causing them way too much damage, and as a result, can't chop off their limb. First world problem. A lot of people say that blocking in this game isn't good. I beg to differ. You can block almost any attack with the proper weapon equipped. If the weapon combined with armor stability and weapon impact, you can ensure that you can block almost any regular attack thrown at you. I don't know why someone decided to say that blocking isn't good, and therefore I've been listening to this over and over in about 20 or so reviews so far for this game. I find it very strange. So this time we will be going through here. Bit of a shittier place to go through. Okay. I always hate this section because you have to fight. You can't reliably draw one enemy away from the others. So you're kind of forced to melee with multiple opponents, two of which have ranged attacks. That's just annoying. I collect everything from that level. I am, however, walking around with 9,000 scrap. This is making me a bit nervous. Now, if I die, just like in the Souls series, I can reclaim the scrap that I lost upon death. But it is still a bother since it is with a time lock. Go for this guy's body. By the way, how does the game seem to you guys? Do you find it in any way interesting or fun? As in, is it something that you would like to keep watching on subsequent streams, or just as a one-off, or a few offs, just to bring some sort of diversity to the stream content?
Great news, guys. We finally got the new gear assembly unit down here. And not a moment too soon. The old one was spitting out worse trash than what you put in. For now, though, you'll have to manually unlock the schematics on your local accounts, at least until they update the interface. The rest is business as usual. You know, pick what you need, make sure you got the proper materials, and hit OK.
Gonna go back over again. because this is pretty representative of the whole gaming experience. It is this over 5 or 6 areas, culminating with a boss. There are some variety of enemies here and there. Essentially, that is mostly the content that you will be seeing. At the end, the enemies get a bit more interesting, but before then it's basically dudes with different levels of equipment. The drones and some other types of drones, essentially. Alright, so this is another way to get to the boss area. So last time we were looking from the entrance at block A, as you can see in the distance, and now we are from the other side. I'm not gonna be cleaning that out just yet. And I will go back and collect that thing that I couldn't make the jump for. Falling down like a stupid idiot. Oh, so this testing chamber is where the DLC is, as I previously mentioned. Now it is in fact dated edge. There shouldn't be any enemies here. I've cleaned up the whole section, so it's just a matter of getting there. Just run for it. A bit more. Oh, thank you. Hidden collectible. Right, so this is the jump I failed last time. If I'll make it this time. God damn it! Alright, anyway, let's go back to medbay. Heal up, upgrade, go for the boss, kill the boss. and go to the next area and probably
Welcome,
cut the
Warren.
stream. Okay. I would like to replace the mechanized counterweight with the medivoltaic injection, which costs 4 core power, so I need to upgrade 4 levels of core power. 2, 3, 4. Go. And at some point I would like to place some more health. I think I have a second health upgrade. No, just vital boost. Oh yeah, actually that's what I need. Vital boost. Do I not have a vital boost? Yeah, I do. Right. Injectables, thank you for the information. And that will be it. I can craft the rhino gear, but I actually have no real reason to do so. Is there anything new here?
You're still here. I
Nope.
can't do any more for you right now. You need to get back into the factory.
On my way.
Try to find a maglev station. And be careful.
Right, so what is the quickest
careful
way?
out there.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. Forgot to. Yeah, that's where I'm going. But I just forgot to unlock a shortcut, and now I'm gonna have to go the long way around again. Right. Now with the medivoltaic injection, this will become a piece of cake. Now, there is another aspect that I would like to talk about in regards to the bosses. There are usually 2 ways to kill each boss. One is the regular way, and one is a bit of a harder way. The difference being mostly that there are 2 versions of the weapon that the boss drops, and if you want the cool version, you have to go for the hardcore attack. I will try and go for the hardcore kill, but if it doesn't happen, shouldn't be too hard to get it, but stop flying about, you little drone. Let me bestow upon you. There, okay. And this is where the boss will. Here he.
Reboot in progress. System check initiated. Error. Bypassing. Error. Bypassing. Bypass successful. Bringing primary weapon online. Primary weapon offline. Secondary system
So now I essentially have to stay behind him, break the armor of his legs, possibly not get broken as I am, I think. So in this case, the hardcore kill is to make him not get hit by his own missiles, which unfortunately I think I failed, so I might as well just kill him. Unless he kills me first. And I died. Oh well. Right. Oh. Let's approach this a little differently. That's not a problem. Get him next time. So, Vital boost. For this time I will be using an additional pack of... Oh, I don't. Oh. Now, how to quickly get to the boss.
Take care.
Essentially just run through everyone. Quickly does it. Just go back to the fight.
Intruder hostile. Upgrading tactical analysis. Enforce maximum punitive measures. Dispensing sentence. Rehabilitation implemented. area. Security violation in progress. Purge threats.
There we go.
Failure. System analysis. Fair.
Essentially, the key to the whole battle is just get in between his legs and not get killed in the way that I just did. Really? Oh well. I think I should be able to get him. Try.
Have a nice day, Warren.
Yeah, no, he's actually a very simple boss. I just haven't played him in a while. Yeah, well, I'll get him this time.
Restricted area. Security violation in progress. Purge threats. Enforce maximum security measures.
Oh, I'm not gonna go for go.
Dispensing sentence. Status critical. Legal initiated. System analysis. Functional. Unauthorized personnel in vicinity. Purge threat. Enforce maximum human measures. Subjugation authorized. Legal initialized. Reinitialize my systems. Initialized. System analysis. Functional. Design error. System failure.
Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the hardcore kill because I used his rockets against him, which I shouldn't be doing. But yeah. The first boss done and done. I'll just go ahead and equip his weapon. What? Thank you. Yeah, the only thing I really want to do is actually unlock the last shortcut, and then I will just transition to the new area and call it there for today. So yeah, this is the farmable guy here for the rhino bits. Fortunately, I couldn't get anything off of him. Go down here. Oh. Yeah, so this is the shortcut here. I'm gonna use it for blocking it. Now go. Right, so I need to take care of these drones because they are hiding part of a little bit of a section and clear out for some collectibles. It's right here up these stairs. Now, there will be an enemy that will jump through the boxes, and he comes in rather aggressively. See if I can there. So, yeah, he was hiding a plasmic regenerator. So actually I can also recycle any implants that I will not be using. I won't be doing it yet, but just for your information that this is also a possible mechanic. There is also a completely separate mechanic that involves these dodges, but they require a bit more finesse than I currently.
After the recent events and the continuing threat to Creo security, we are asking all employees to remain vigilant. Please, if you see or hear anything suspicious, report it immediately to your supervisor. Protect yourself, your job, your family. Terrorism is everyone's problem.
And this is actually the transition to the next section. It's probably the factory. Central Production B. This is a huge area with several sections all around.
Amazing experience. I mean, you already know that Creo
will be unlocked on separate stages. I'm just gonna go do this bit because it will unlock the drone module, which I mentioned at the start, just so you can see how it works.
Rerouting. Manual link established. Welcome to main production. Worker number. Database error. Let me show you around. Now, how may I help you? Let me show you around. Around.
Seems you've got a screw loose somewhere.
Thanks for your concern. Error. No loose screws found.
Right. So, where is everybody?
Unable to initiate link to CreoNet. No data available.
Yeah, well, it is a bit strange, but they wanted to keep up with the melee.
Time to get to work. Let me show you.
It's a bit weird to have a sci-fi setting without projectile weapons, I agree.
Provided by Creo. I'd like to help. I'd like to help. I'd like to... Please, hold the line.
But you get used to it. Not something. Oh yeah, okay, so we now have the drone module. And technically from this point on I can return to the first section and go to the first DLC, but I won't be doing that. Wait, I think that there was a collectible with the others. Yeah. So now the drone is mapped to its own button. I'm using a controller. I didn't mention that, but I found this game to be easier to play with the controller rather than the keyboard and mouse. And this will be the little tutorial about shooting down things with the drone. essentially how it works. It just appears, it does the little shot, and comes right back around, and that in front of us is the ops center that we'll go into, and then we can have a bit of a talk
Welcome.
about the game.
This unit is currently running on emergency power. Services are limited at the moment. We apologize for any inconvenience.
So, how did you like the game so far? Is it something that interests you? Is it something that you would like to keep looking at in future streams? Or not really?
Please remember, safety at work is our highest priority and should be yours.
I'll just turn back the vibration aspect. There should be a guy here. Yeah, there he is. Go on then. So this is one of the attacks that I can dodge, but... Oh really? Awesome. Well, it's just that if it's not something that you find interesting, I have other games that I can be streaming. This is just something that came up as an idea. So unless I have already beaten it, there isn't that much new content to experience for me. It's just something that's fun for me to play every now and again.
Hello? Anyone there? Are you receiving? Please contact me if you can. Warren, I was starting to worry. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah?
Will you finally tell me who you are?
Sally. I'm Sally, medical staff assigned to the Executive Forum. I'm isolated up here. Stuck, to be exact. Just trying my best to figure out how I can help.
Mm-hmm, okay.
What the hell's going on here?
There was some kind of incident, that's all I know. Hardly anything is working and your area is...
Yeah, I will not, I don't think I can bring myself to stream things that I wouldn't enjoy, but I am just asking you if you enjoy this, you enjoy looking this
Fine.
yourselves,
This qualifies for hazard pay.
Okay then.
because there are a few other options, actually quite a few other options, including other games that I've beaten, games that I would like to beat, that range between RPGs, turn-based games. I can have another run at XCOM 2, that will be very interesting for me. I can have a run at Fallout 2, at Wasteland 2, Doom 2016. Something more fast-paced with story progression. Okay, I will think about that. Maybe... How about Darksiders? You know about Darksiders? is pretty fast-paced. It's kind of like this one, only faster in terms of gameplay, a bit more spectacle fightery, and
Executive level that it's safe there. Security forces have it locked down.
the story itself is more cohesive, more streamlined, more cutscenes, more of a story to go through.
But you know what? It's fine.
So yeah, Darksiders is also an idea. There are a total of 3 games in the series, with a 4th one, sort of.
I'm safe here.
But yeah, that's food for thought. How Baldur's Gate? Well, just as Roro Rimbo mentioned, a fast-paced game with a cohesive, advancing story. I think that the old-school isometric RPGs are automatically out of the equation. So Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter's Night, Icewind Dale, Fallout. Baldur's Gate without pausing, is that a thing? Is that actually a thing? Are there people that make playthroughs without tactical pausing? Because especially at the start, I don't think that's a possibility. When you start off with what 2 health points or something like that, and you encounter anything that's that has ranged attacks, your whole team will get mincemeated. Yeah? Yeah, but then you actually lose the benefit of the lack of pause, meaning that it will not conserve time for the playthrough. You just keep reloading. But yeah, I see what you mean. The ultimate cheat of any game, just quick save, quick load. Yeah, add a death counter. An option. I don't think that there is a by default widget to this, but I can take a look if I can make something work. Because this game would lend itself to a death counter as well. Tomorrow evening, I think I will be out. Not really sure yet, but I think I'll be out somewhere. We can figure something out. You can write in the group if in the Blood Bow group if you're somewhere around. Oh yeah? Nice. Will you be able to do it? Building minis and playing the game at the same time. That sounds challenging. Using the 4 minutes of your opponent to build minis. Whoa, that's nice. Yeah, see, that's well, don't say that. You can bring it back always. never know. So I might tune in to see your game and log into Cabal Vision to have a look. I would stream it, but it's getting a bit late, and I think I'll be cutting the stream short, but cheers. Still, I will take a look in Cabal Vision a bit later. Right then, so that'll be it for me for tonight. I will consider some other options. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah, so I'll tune in to have a look. Okay. This is a perfectly viable reason considering it's Friday evening. I think it's time for all of us to have a bit of a lazy time off. I will consider some other games to bring to your attention. I might post some trailers of these games on my page on Facebook, so you can take your pick. Yeah, okay, sure. On Tony Day. Yep, sounds good. Sounds good. Yep, Beer and Blood Bowl. I think that there was a channel like that on the YouTube. Alright guys, so this will be it from me for tonight. Cheers to all of you. Thanks for joining me on this rather new endeavor for me. Have a nice evening to all. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and I will see most of you on Sunday for a nice little tournament of Blood Bowl 7s. So have a good evening, and bye-bye from me.